You're tuned into AfterBuzz TV for Empire Season 2, season finale. You ready?
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Panda, 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 panda. I got broads in Atlanta. She's a family. Pretty cards in the stands.
I don't know. I have no clue.
Hey, what's up, everybody? We're the Fab Four. I am Bamm Ericsen.
Honey killers on the helmets. Legacies.
I'm Sofia Stanley. I was obviously caught off guard dancing to Panda.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Kennelia.
And I'm Emile, Save the Endangered Animals.
OMG!
And joining us via Skype, he plays the character D Major. Please welcome to AfterBuzz TV, Mr. Tobias Truvillion. Are you there?
Okay.
So, Jamal is not dead after all.
I didn't think he was dead anyway.
I was kind of hoping, not because I don't like him, but just so we can have a conversation about why he left the show. Like, I wanted some talk.
You wanted some... Oh, here we go.
Hey!
Hello, welcome.
Do the intro again.
Yeah. So joining us on AfterBuzz TV for Empire Season 2 finale, he plays the character of D Major. Please welcome Tobias Truvillion. What up? How are you?
What's up? What's going on?
Thank you so much for joining us. So we were just discussing last week, there was somewhat of a cliffhanger with the text by Jussie saying, you know, that he was potentially dead. And so when we start back last night's episode, it's 3 weeks later and Jamal's not dead. And so now that means if he's alive, that means there's more of you.
Hey, you know, it seems to be that way. You know, you got to have a lifeline.
Mm-hmm.
Well said.
Yeah. So a couple things. Okay, so like I said, he's not dead, he's alive. And so now there was this welcome home party. He's in the wheelchair, he arrives, you know, Cookie's wearing a Gucci scarf. Mother Walker, she's eating pistachios. I love her.
Okay.
Veronica so V Bozeman, she's singing. And so now Hakeem says that, you know, he doesn't want to sing. He's not feeling wanting to sing at the wedding. And what did you guys think about the welcome home party? Can everyone hear?
Yes.
Okay. What did you guys think about all of this? I thought the welcome home party was just a bit too much for Jamal at that time. What did you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, in theory, it was nice. If they would have just had some little turn up music instead of V Bozeman singing like the sad song, then I would have been cool with it. Because, you know, it was cool. When somebody comes home, you say, hey, welcome back, blah, blah, blah. He wasn't supposed to come home to an empty house. But the R&B slow jams, it was kind of sad.
For me, it's weird. It actually goes back to what we said at the beginning of the show, whether or not Jamal was dead. For a split second, even though I knew that Jamal was not in fact dead for the reasons that we said last week, I actually felt like a dream sequence. There was something very somber and very eerie, and even the way that it was shot, like it almost seemed like it was shot like in sepia tone. Like the tonality of it seemed very somber, and even the fact that Jamal didn't seem happy to be home and then therefore happy to be alive felt weird. That I felt like there was going to be like a record break and it was going to go Air! And then we were going to kind of catapult into real life, which in essence happened when he kind of said, you know, aren't you guys tired? Aren't you all tired? But I think at the end of the day, you're going to have a celebration when someone comes home, regardless of the reason. I think that the fact that they think that they're going to be one happy family, that obviously was very Empire-esque, and I think that's where they went wrong, but it makes sense.
I love V Bozeman singing. I think the reason why I loved it is, I get what you're saying, Kennelia, about, you know, wanting some like turn up music when you get out, but I think I liked it because it kind of stayed true to the nature of Jamal. Like, Jamal loves like good, raw, authentic music, and so they could have done the turn up thing, but like having V there and hearing her emote and like the passion, everything in her voice, I think it just kind of reminded him of how beautiful life is. That's just a sap in me, though. No,
well said, Emile. I agree.
Very well said. And so we're going to just forward just a little bit. So
I'm going to steal your pen if that's all right, Bamm.
So Jamal he doesn't have the itch to want to sing. So once Lucious then goes to prison and have convinces Frida basically that he didn't kill the dad and so forth. He gets Frida to get on the track and then brings it to Jamal. Jamal now has the itch to want to do music again. So now we go forward to you. Okay. So now you're back into the picture, and Lucious. It was revealed that Lucious will not allow D Major to visit him in prison. I'm sorry, in the hospital. And so last week we had this conversation about whether your intentions were true or not. If in fact you were, if D Major was using him to be his bitch boy, or are your feelings genuine? The fact that you're still there, you were there to, I guess, comfort him. What do you think? Do you think your character is what Lucious says? Do you have a different intention, or do you truly care about Jamal?
Well, I think there's there's something there for D Major. What it is exactly, we're not sure yet. I guess maybe, hopefully, with the support of the fans and stuff, maybe we get a chance to explore that in the future. Right now, I couldn't tell you. Like I said, there's something there for D Major, and he's looking. It looks like there might be some sort of romance that might be brewing there. Maybe romantic in the way of the music. They had the chorus that was there, and they were composing and getting the song ready for the wedding. So, artistically, these guys already they gel. So I couldn't really tell you. I'm not too sure.
Okay.
I'm gonna make a quick prediction. I think that from a story arc perspective, D Major has to be in season 2, and the reason being is if he wasn't gonna be in season 3, if he wasn't gonna be in season 3, he would have never been in this episode.
Totally.
The last scene with Jamal and his dad, and the way that it ended, given the fact that D Major was the catalyst for it, that would have been the end of it, right? He would have been like, okay, cool, he's not really into me, he's just using me. My dad was right, even though he's the devil. End of scene. End of D Major. The fact that he's back, number one, is a prediction that he'll be back in season 3. The fact that they're making music also is a prediction that he's going to be back in season 3. And then I can't remember the character's name, but I think his name was Rosie. Is that the guy's name? Rosie,
yeah.
like one of the big music guys.
Yeah.
When he said, I've been following Jamal since day one. I'm really interested in what he's going to do. And his dad said something, and he was referring back to when Jamal said, I'm leaving Empire. I'm no longer making music with them. And then told him, my new album is being produced by D Major, or that I have a new single with D Major. Again, to me, that was too many references to D Major connected with Jamal's music and his kind of next venture, spreading his wings. That to me was foreshadowing that he would have to at least be in 2 episodes of season 3. That's just my...
I like the way that sounds. I like really good. I like that a lot.
Okay. One of the other things that that I liked is I like the subtle signs that you were starting to that D Major was starting to loosen up about the whole thing about not being out. D Major's character touched Jamal's wheelchair, the back of his wheelchair, twice when they were when he was singing, working with the choir. It was just those little subtle things where you start to see that D Major is becoming more comfortable with showing his affection toward other guys, I guess, in public, which is something probably your character may have not done before.
I mean, you guys are picking up on some stuff there. It was in Jamal's penthouse, so still somewhat a private session. So you're picking up on stuff. I think we get a chance to explore that a little bit more in the future. It would be great. That's just some of my choices along the way. So we shall see. I couldn't really tell you, man.
Okay, well, how did you get involved with? How did you hear about the casting? Were you given the role? Were you asked to come in an audition? How did that happen?
Oh, well, this was actually one of the first times in my career. I've been doing this for a long time, and this is where they actually offered me the role.
Ooh,
wow!
I got a phone call, and they told me about the character and asked me, how I felt about the character, And I'm an actor, so I was like, hey, that sounds like something that's really interesting. And I talked it over with my wife and discussed it with my team, and ultimately the decision was mine, and I took the role. It was like something that I'm like, all right, I knew there would be a lot of criticism that would come with it, and I'm not sure why God had pointed me to play this role at this time, but the type of person, the man that I am, I could carry it. So I said I'm gonna jump in there and show the people, my work.
Now you talk about criticism. Ever since the genesis of the show, even when the concept and the plot was introduced to the public, there was already backlash regarding Lee Daniels and like the whole gay thing. So for you to enter this sphere and become a gay character or a down low character in the show, and I know you said it was something that you don't know why God placed you in this time, but were you nervous about how fans would react or how fans of the show react? Because it seems like whenever there's any type of gay scene on this show, they always like, there's obviously the fans who love it, then there's also those fans like, oh God, I'm never watching this show again.
Right. Yeah. Before I signed a contract, I knew that. So it wasn't like, oh, I'm playing this role. Wow, what's going to happen?
Right.
Oh my God, what kind of criticism is going to be after this? It was that before then, and it was just it was a decision. It was said either am I gonna do this or not, and if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it wholeheartedly, and I'm gonna give the story and the character and do it, give it justice and tell it to the best of my ability. There's always gonna be some sort of criticism, depending on whatever character you're playing or
Right.
whatever role, and it's stuff that people, it's a wonderful place like here that where we can have the dialogue and talk about it. It's a reflection of our times. I think D Major is actually a very interesting character because he has a lot of complexity to him. He has layers to him. It's something that is in the community, is in the world right now, and it's always been there. It's just that you're seeing more of those kind of stories being told on television, and Empire is one of those. Empire is my hats off to Empire because they're bold enough to go there. Not everybody goes there, and it's just what it is.
Well said.
Well said. Yeah.
Also, just really quickly, you're no stranger to a soap opera. You were on One Life to Live for 2 seasons from 2006 to 2008, and so I wanted to just get quickly like the difference between doing a daytime soap and doing a nighttime primetime soap. Is there a difference? Do you have a preference of what you like better?
I mean, look, man, I'm an actor. I'm an artist, so the preference to me is, oh my God, I'm working. So at any given time, I'm always been, if anybody's been following me for a long time, I've been, on white collar and person of interest, and I've done films and your Brooklyn's Finest and Paid in Full and Hitch, and it's all about the steps along the way. It's like if I'm gonna be here working on One Life to Live, which was great, I was on a contract role. Story's always changing. You work, I get paid. I didn't work, I got paid. So it was like a wonderful thing. Now, this time, 2016, I'm on prime time. It's a major platform. It's probably one of the biggest roles I ever played, and I'm excited about it. I'm working with some top professionals with Jussie and Terrence and Taraji, with Yaz, and all these guys. They're really good at what they do, and I'm glad that I have a place to show the world of what I'm capable of doing.
And then, do you know anything in regards to season 3?
Season 3, man. I wish.
Okay.
I wish.
Okay.
A lot of a lot of what you guys said sounded really nice, and people have been story plotting since my debut of like what might happen to D Major, what's gonna happen to Lucious, and what's gonna happen to Cookie and Jussie. So, all these stories are possible. So I couldn't tell you. I'm not in the writer's head. I haven't been approached by anybody to continue this story. Right now I'm currently working on some other projects, and it's been wonderful since the debut. I've been getting a lot of love and feedback. A lot of positive feedback, and that's been the best part of it. I've been doing some watch parties for the shows that I've been on, and we just had a season finale watch party, and I just been enjoying the ride, and doing the work along the way. So I couldn't tell you. I just don't know. I don't have that information. I wish I did. Maybe I could give you a spoiler or something, but I don't have that information.
Yeah. And what are you working on? You have some things coming out. So in between, we know you're gonna come back for season 3, but is there anything that you're working on or anything that's coming out before we know you return in season 3?
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I did have a reoccurring role on a hit series called Flesh and Bone. That's on Stars. Um, I just finished a film called Products of the American Ghetto with Darren Henson and Robin Givens, and I just finished another film called Secrets with Harold Housemore and Denise Lawton. I did another pilot presentation called The Trade with an up and coming director, Michael Boogie Pickney, who's up and coming, and he's really dope. What else I'm doing? There's a couple things that I'm working on right now that I can't really talk about, but you could catch me. Oh, matter of fact, there's another independent film called Respect the Jukes that I'm in. Some of the stuff is, I'm forgetting some of it, but yeah, those are the things that are coming down the line, and you can always catch me at my website, tobiastruvillion.com, or follow me on my Instagrams and Twitters and stuff, and I'm always putting that information at Tobias411. So, you can follow along with me. But right now, those are the projects that I have lined up, and the ones I'm working on right now, you'll find out pretty soon.
And what's your social media handle?
Social media is Tobias411. You got your Instagram and your Twitter. My baby sisters Inez and Emily just started my second page on Instagram called Tobias Truvillion Official. And then on Facebook it's Tobias Truvillion Life. So big shout out to my baby sisters. I love them to death, and that's where you could catch me. But mainly Tobias411 on the Twitter and Tobias411 on your Instagram.
Okay, well, we want to thank you for calling in and Skyping with us. And when you come back in season 3, when you're in LA, please come and sit down with us and chat more.
Hey, thank you. Much respect to all the fans out there. Much respect to you guys. And, I'm going to continue to, push the envelope, push myself. And, I do a lot of work with the youth and stuff. I want to make sure people know that, I do a lot of philanthropy with the kids. I teach a TV production class in Newark, New Jersey, and I teach drama. We have a drama program, an all-year-round drama program called Advantage Arts, and we have a partnership with Drew University, my brother and I, Rodney Gilbert. And, that's part of some of the other things that I'm doing. I teach them how to make films and short and music videos, and we do feature-length films, and, the kids get a chance to learn camera techniques and editing and all the aspects of filmmaking and all the aspects of drama and dealing in the theater, because that's where my roots come from, is a black theater. So, that's part of like my pay it forward and give back. So I just wanted to, put that out there. Some of the other things that sometimes might not get that much highlight, as far as like, Empire and all the big time shows that I'm on and stuff. But yeah, once again, I just want to thank everybody, all the fans. Like, it's been so much love when I'm out in the street, people running up to me and say, hey, you're doing a great job. And even all the, negative and hate and all that is wide open, man. I appreciate all of it because, it opens up that dialogue. And, I'm a brother. I'm from Queens, New York. And, I get where people are coming from. But I'm an artist, I'm an actor. I'm happily married, I'm a heterosexual man, and I get it, I get where some people are a little thrown off, but I think with this bold storytelling by Empire, it gives a chance for people to, see it, see it a little bit more, and maybe, have a little bit better of an understanding of what's going on in some of these people's lives that I'm portraying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's out there. It's happening. It's been going on for a long time. It's just that you visually might be seeing a little bit more of it, and I think you have to kind of maybe just have a little bit of open mind to understand, what a person might be going through or their kind of lifestyle. It's up to them. That's what they want to do and live. That's their thing. But I think a character like D Major is, like I said, extremely complex and there's a lot of layers to him. And I look forward to maybe continuing that road down with him.
All right. Well, thank you so much for calling in again and again. Thank you. And season 3, come back.
Season 3, baby.
All right. All right. We'll talk to you later. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks a lot.
All right.
Peace out, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Continuing. So that was really great to get his perspective.
Yes. Can I just be a dork for a second? Was it only my heart broke when he said he had a wife?
Oh my gosh.
I have to keep
No,
100.
yeah.
I was like, oh, but that's sweet.
But aren't they
But I
all
was like,
married?
yeah, they really are married. So.
Well, we're gonna
The
discuss.
Price is Right music. Dum, 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 dum.
We'll discuss marriage in a second. So, when Cookie and Lucious were discussing their concern about Jamal, Boo Boo Kitty Anika walks in and she wants to speak privately to Lucious. Cookie doesn't leave. She's like, "Girl, sit down." Boo Boo Kitty, she beats around the bush with the news, and Cookie's like, "Girl, you remember something." She reveals that when she got pulled in by the feds, that they mentioned something about Shine Johnson. Andre arrives. He obviously knows who that is because he's old enough. And Rhonda comes in, and then boom.
Good. Hey, I mean, I think Rhonda should have asked her up front, like last week, like I said, did you push me down the stairs? But her coming in and snuffing Anika was plenty enough for me. I was cool with the beat down.
I just love how Anika's still sticking to her story in that moment. She's like, what are you talking about? Like,
Play dumb real good.
She attacked me.
Oh.
I mean, I have nothing because, and I can't. I'm sorry that I'm blanking with names today, but Rhonda, the actress, basically gave it away months ago, when she said it's going to be a great fight scene, and everyone was like, she can't fight a pregnant woman. Well, she fought a pregnant woman. Who else would she be able to fight? She's not fighting Cookie. Cookie would murder her. Who else is she going to fight?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I thought it was great. I liked that they went that extra mile that she punched her in the nose. I actually would have preferred for her nose to be broken. But, because, she really punched her. I think the most important thing for me is twofold. It's that there's a certain direction that the characters are taking that is a little bit confusing to me. Because, to me, just backing up one step, the fact that Anika doesn't remember what the Fed said, that doesn't make any sense. So, for instance, you get pulled in. First of all, okay, regardless of whether or not you're street or your sidewalk, the feds pull you into a room, you remember every single thing that they asked you. So that's bullshit, right? Number one. Number two, how ironic that the only name she happens to remember is Shine. Bullshit. Then number three, jumping to Rhonda, I'm so over Andre. Whatever happened to, you're not just girlfriend and boyfriend, you're husband and wife. Yeah. And in my mind, and I am not married, and maybe this is why I'm not married, but to me, when you're married, you always side with your partner. And then when we go home, I might need to be like, yo, are you effing crazy? Does that make sense? But in public, I don't care if it's between our family, but in any situation, we need to be united front. So you're telling me she's rode with him after all of his crazy antics, and I know everyone's going to say, but he's bipolar. I actually don't effing care.
That had nothing to do with him and what no, that had nothing to do with it.
Well,
and that's my point.
Yeah.
So my thing is this, you can't support your wife, number one. Number two, and I'm about to talk out the other side of my mouth. Number two, then she's like, well, tell them. And it's like, dude, you were the one who literally felt that you heard God say that someone pushed them. Now, out of the other side of my mouth, she's the one who told him she didn't believe him and she doesn't believe in God and so forth and so on. So can you really have it both ways? Not necessarily. So.
Well, I was hoping that it was initially with the whole Andre thing, not stepping up for her and all those things and making her look like a dummy in front of everybody. I was hoping that was the twist. It was going to be the twist that we talked about where possibly he was the one who pushed her down the stairs and we're going to go into that and that's the reason why. So then when we go further, we find that there wasn't a twist at that point. Unfortunately, I was just like, wah.
Oh, Sophia, when you were talking about the whole Boo Boo Kitty thing, now notice she said that the feds pulled her in a couple days ago. So the fact that she waited a couple days to go to Lucious about this information, she's playing dumb.
You mean a couple of days or you mean 3 weeks?
Because it was 3 weeks ago.
It's 3 weeks.
That happened right when Jamal
You're
got
right.
shot.
Well, Boo Boo Kitty said they put me in a couple days
Right,
ago,
yeah.
so
Right.
that's actually a writing flaw. But
or
maybe
a lie.
she's lying.
Yeah.
A lie.
She's shady.
She's lying.
yeah.
She's shady.
She's shady.
And then also, I want
And
to
then
go.
also, what's up with people like not following their wives? Or their
Oh,
soon-to-be
we
wives?
can. You talking about?
Oh, okay.
We'll get to
All
that
of
because
them.
that came with
I'm
that
like,
last scene.
dude, like,
But then both of them.
Well,
can
just
get-
really quickly, just going back to the Andre thing, that there was a couple things that she says when you become the man I married, the man who's willing to do what needs to be done, have him give me a call because I really miss him. I thought that was just the perfect thing to let her husband know, like, you are one sorry ass dude. That's all I have to say about that. He's sorry.
But you know what? The fact that Andre, one, keeps coming back and forth to Lucious with the please, baby, please let me through the door. Can I please run the company? Rhonda saying that to him doesn't mean a damn thing because
Exactly.
if he can't hear that coming from, like he can't look at that perspective in regards to business, he ain't gonna be able to he's not gonna be able to do that in regards to his wife.
right.
Yeah.
And basically, in essence, she's telling him to kill a pregnant woman.
Yeah.
He can't even stand up to his dad.
Yeah.
Does it make sense? And in the dad's mind, Anika is the holy grail because she's carrying the Empire legacy. They know I could agree with Kennelia 100%. Like it's a great line, but it actually really isn't.
I like it just because she realized at that point she had to take matters into her own hands, which when you go to the final scene,
I think ironically she already did it. Like that first scene is, think about it.
Yeah.
She ran in and
Yeah.
strangled a pregnant woman and
Said,
punched her in the
I heard
face.
your voice.
Right. So she already did it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So on some levels, even, and this is gonna, I'm not gonna go down this rabbit hole too hard, but the fact that she had to say that again to him proves that he's actually not the man. Does that make sense? There's a certain respect level, and I'm gonna go back to the whole married thing. There's a certain respect level that you don't cross because if you truly respect your partner, you may fight, but there's certain kind of blows that you don't swing. If you swing them, it means that there's a lack of respect, and to me, whenever there's a lack of respect, it's basically over. Because or else I wouldn't have punked you like that. Because she's basically saying, I literally, the person who just lost their child, and that is the murder, I have to have a conversation with you about this? Really?
okay, what do you guys think about the whole suicide when she tried to fall off the?
Oh my, I don't know why. This is gonna sound so silly. I'm so over her. It's not even funny.
Boo Kitty.
Yeah.
Well,
and I don't even think it's the character. Like, I don't like where they're going with her character at all.
My thing was, it
Because
was
it's
just like,
it's too attention grabby. It's literally like, oh my god, her in her white dress and makeup fully done, and she goes all the way to Empire to then go out on the balcony. Like that, it screams attention, all caps exclamation. Like that's not a suicide. That is.
I didn't like the unrealistic aspect of when Cookie was talking to her on the ledge, and she was like, "You always want to be a lion, didn't you?" And she was like, "Yes." I'm like, "What?
That part right there, that just
That
made her
was-
seem pathetic.
yeah,
If I was the person up there, she is. But granted, everything she said, you would on the surface say yes, that's what she wanted. But if Cookie was standing there saying that to me, like Kennelia saying, there's just something about the way she said it. It was like it was.
It didn't fit.
Yeah, like this is what you always wanted. You always wanted to be one of us. Like it made her sound like she was so desperate for anything, which. Now,
I believe, yeah.
I know it sounds like I'm talking about something in my mouth, like Sofia says, but like I don't know how to describe it. Like,
No, I totally agree with you. You're right, because it's that pathetic that it almost seemed
It doesn't seem like-
inauthentic.
exactly.
But the
It
problem,
seemed
it
very
can't be.
campy.
But it seemed campy, and that's I think
very
the
campy.
problem. But the sad reality is, based on all of her other movements, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because this is exactly what she's always wanted. Because again, and I don't mean to sound disrespectful to suicide, because suicide is a major thing. But within the context of this story, this wasn't a suicide attempt. This was purely attention.
This was clearly a fake suicide between the.
No, it's not even a fake suicide. It's just a cry for attention. I'm not even going to put the word into it. She had no intentions of in any way falling off to her death. She literally wanted attention. She got it because it set the scene for the final scene where they actually thought she was so uneasy or possibly like could be broken that then he had to make the decision that he felt was his only decision to make. Without the other scene, Lucious may not have made the decision to marry her so quickly because he would have thought possibly that she was strong arguably like Cookie, and therefore that Cookie wouldn't have snitched, because that's the whole thing too. So why are you going to marry one woman and not the other woman when they could just as quickly give Cookie a subpoena, right? No, but right?
After she'd been in jail before, so
Yeah.
next time she gets sent back, she's going
I'm
for
talking.
life.
That's why I'm just like, this whole
Life.
thing don't make no sense.
It does not make
And also, sorry, I have
Okay.
to keep going. And so it's like, really? No, but really, you have 48 hours. And so your whole concern about the grand jury is making sure that she doesn't get called into the grand jury. They have to serve her, do service of process. That's what the little waitress person did.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't lock her up in a room for 48 hours?
Right. And
Bodyguard? What? No, you fly her out of the country. She's only, 5 months pregnant. She still can fly.
Exactly.
You literally put her in a limo, fly her outside of the country. They have the grand jury. The grand jury goes, I have no evidence. They literally, case closed. No, doesn't move forward. And you go on and you bring her back. Well, actually, I wouldn't bring her back, but that's a whole nother story. I can't.
I get it, but I also think because this is a primetime soap.
Okay, but
Sometimes
It was very All My Children.
Yeah,
the whole
because
time I was like, oh, okay.
like I get it being a primetime soap, but like a primetime soap or any soap should still be enjoyable.
But again, you know what? In this regard, to me, especially with the balcony scene, yeah, it was very, like I said, One Life to Live. Y'all remember, if y'all watched when old girl got thrown in the well and spent the whole summer in a well,
Yeah,
like
again.
it's.
I get it.
I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it does not make sense. But when I think of the perspective of this is like Dynasty meets a tinge of The Sopranos.
But there's OMG moments that are created on shows.
Yeah.
I think one, and I'm not trying to bash the show because I enjoyed the episode overall.
Yeah, me
I think
too, ironically.
the one problem for me, and Sofia and Kennelia didn't see it, but we saw it. Bamm. I think it was problematic that we saw Anika on the ledge in the preview because one, they made that, you guys didn't see the preview, right? They made it seem like that was going to be like a moment, but it was like only a quick scene in the show. Like even that alone, that should have been something that was more of a surprise, and maybe that would have helped me. I don't know.
And what also bothered me about that scene and the scene between Rhonda and them on the cliffhanger, what bothered me about that was too like it was too much like he just walks in and so now
too cliffhanger.
Yeah, it was way too much of a cliffhanger. So now we have to wait all the way till October.
Oh, I know what happened.
Well, I mean, I think I know what happened too, but I'm just saying that that was too much. It was like, okay, something more should have happened.
And you know what's so funny, and it's gonna sound silly, I actually really enjoyed the episode, even though it sounds like I didn't. But ironically, the only thing I really cared about this episode was how Lucious truly is the devil, but in a way that's eerie. Because the problem is, it's like, and I think we've talked about this before, I think that he is capable of being someone who actually, in fact, loves his children and loves his ex-wife, but that doesn't negate the fact that he's the devil, and therefore will do anything that a devil needs to do to remain the master of his dominion. The only other thing I cared about this episode was Jamal, and more importantly, Jussie Smollett, because I think that sometimes we take for granted what a great actor he is. Do you know what I mean? Like he's from season 1, he's been stellar. But to me, this episode, there was a subtlety, or there was like he was in pocket in a way that he was emoting without being animated in any way, shape, or form. His movements were very subdued and really restrained. So if you watch the episode, he doesn't really move a lot. And part of that is because he's recovering, right? But to be able to emote in such a way with the smallest of gestures, meaning that you feel that he's lost in his eyes. You feel the one tear. Even to me, when he was practicing and he, was kind of getting into the music and then he held his stomach, I liked how they restrained that scene so they didn't make it a big deal. That felt authentic to me. And then the only other thing I really care about is Lucious and Cookie. Because even though he's the devil, I have always still liked them together. And so there was something about their sparring again, and there was something about him saying, well, I can do with maybe, that I was like, I can't believe I'm falling for his BS. I do want them to get back together, which makes me feel like a punk because I know he's the devil. So then that's the only reason I even cared about the last scene is because how hurt she must have felt, again, falling for his bullshit and once again being let down and arguably abandoned like she had already been. Those are really the only things I care about. I don't mean to be rude when I say that.
That's fine. So let's go to Lucious. So now Lucious, speaking of
I don't know why I say I don't mean to be rude, because obviously I'm rude. So I guess I'm okay with being rude.
Yeah, it's good. So Lucious, speaking of Lucious being the devil, so when Jamal comes back home, he doesn't apologize. He just kind of goes on. He just wants him to do his music. That's all he care about.
But technically, what should he apologize for?
And when has Lucious ever apologized?
I
want
know,
us
but
and everybody to stop wanting Lucious to say that he's sorry.
I'm speaking in general.
Okay.
I'm speaking in general that people want him to apologize because the things that he said to Jamal. So now, because Jamal does not want to sing, then he goes to where he knows what will give him the spark to sing. He goes to Frida in prison, who. Oh, why wasn't Frida behind the glass door?
Because he's Lucious Lyon.
And they've never had anybody behind the glass here.
So he gets her to record.
Like he's
He gets her to record, and so then he gives the tape to Jamal, and then that's what gives him the mojo to be able to sing. Because why? Empire cannot be ran without him singing.
Oh well. I mean, yeah.
Well, how come I always forget? What's Frida Gat's, the actor's real name? The actual
Breezy.
Yo, I really like her.
Oh no, her flow is always on point.
Do you know what I mean? And
so
the same
effortless.
thing, and the fact that it's like, I don't know if she has acting credits or not, but her character's so believable. Do you know how many other actors or singers can't act like actors and singers? Yeah, so it's on some levels it's gonna sound silly. I need her to get off because I need her to be in season 3. Mm-hmm. There's something about her. There's something about her command of words, her command of the camera, as well as her relationship with Jamal that I really, really like.
Well, the fact that Lucious is paying for her legal team, she will either get off or she will stay in prison. It's one of the two, but obviously because she's a fan favorite, I believe that she will obviously get out of jail because Jamal forgives her. So I don't see why she would not come back or be released from prison. What do you guys think?
Whenever you have a conversation with Lucious Lyon, I don't care who you are, your future is damn near toast. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, she could get out. He probably could shoot her. Mm-hmm. She do something wrong. He gonna have somebody in prison kill her. Then, or he gonna convince her to commit suicide. Or he gonna run her away and have her crying again.
Speaking that truth.
So
he's horrible.
Let's get into this whole thing about now these other guys. You have Rosie. You have what are the names?
Exhibit.
No. Yes, you have Sean Johnson.
It was that, I'm sorry, just not cutting you off, Bamm, but it was distracting. Was it distracting for anybody else? No. For me, it was distracting. I don't know why.
What you thinking about pimping rides?
A little bit, but not
still wanted to pimp my ride.
Yeah,
he cussed somebody out on Twitter for asking him that, by the way.
Really? Oh, get over yourself.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's like when people from like boy bands get mad when you ask them to play their old stuff. That's why you're relevant. Mm-hmm. Like no, seriously, that would be like in the future, someone being like, "Oh my god, I remember you from AfterBuzz." I'd be like, "Oh my god, isn't that so cool? Let's take a selfie." I wouldn't be like, "Really?"
Yeah.
So the names. What are their names? Their names are
those guys.
So you have Shine. Cookie goes to see Shine and
Rosie and Tommy.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
It's in his notes.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not that smart. It's in the notes.
So these three are back in the picture. So Shine wants to be able to. He has a chip on his shoulder, and so he wants his nephew to have some kind of publishing deal, and then he wants.
That scene was funny.
It was funny. It was really funny, and the outfit that she had on was really fly too.
The country outfit. No, that was to me. That looked like. To me, they did that because they're trying to show us in subtle ways that Cookie just got out of prison. So she's wearing everything. Like what the hell?
Totally.
She had on every item was.
Do you guys remember in everyone here has seen Dope, right? Mm-hmm. Do you remember the scene in Dope where he has to go get the bag of money, and basically the guy asks him like which bag is real and which bag is fake?
Yeah.
Yo, Cookie looked like she's counterfeit.
But you excited you get that money.
Do you know what I'm saying? No, but true.
She got the pattern set, put it on everything.
But literally, but she probably spent $100,000 on that outfit, and it looked like she went to Canal Street and spent $100.
Remember back in the day, Armani Exchange? Remember
Armani
Exchange?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you had to get the shirt that said Armani Exchange so you could see that people knew that it was Armani Exchange.
Why are you like, because you're...
But it was no. I remember that. No.
I was like, what's in my name?
Yeah.
I have a Hermione exchange jacket, but I don't have with the logo in there. No.
Yeah.
But it's the same with FUBU, Sean John, all that shit.
You got to
Yeah,
get.
no,
You
she
wanna
looked.
get-
That's why the song Panda was so important to play when she got out of the car, because that shit was just all kinds of
I got bras in Atlanta.
right.
Okay, so you have the three guys, and so now Cookie and Lucious needs to keep Shine. They need to just kind of keep them together. You know, they have to kind of keep them in a circle
bay.
before. Yeah.
Oh, I got it, but it goes back to what Sofia was saying about how they didn't handle with jumping forward, how they didn't handle Anika's situation, like that situation, right? It's the same with this. Like, I feel like there were other ways they could have done it. Like, nothing about it made sense. Like, why would you think, like, it didn't make sense?
I didn't understand it. I skipped right past it.
I didn't understand that either. I didn't understand that, but the other guy, Rosie. I'm more worried about Rosie more so than Shine, the exhibit character. There's something about the Rosie character that comes off in a way where I think later on he may snitch or do something to bring down this little unity that the four of them have.
Oh, I had zero predictions about Uncle Rosie.
Yeah, like I don't know what it was. I would have preferred like for Vivica Fox's character and Carol to come back in and like bring something about that, what she didn't like, something with that, like introducing these new characters in the final episode. It just felt like, I don't know, just
Completely agreed.
it was a lot, and not in a good way. Like, I don't know, it's just a lot.
Okay, so the wedding. I thoroughly enjoyed the wedding.
Or lack thereof.
Or lack of. Let's go into Laura's family. So
Poor thing.
Aw.
I said a long time ago, Laura, run, girl, run, and she ran. The dad didn't like the fact that Shine was coming. First of all, why did all of these people come to the wedding? I mean, I get it from a celebrity standpoint of bringing people to the wedding, but it was just too much to have.
That's what it. That's
Yeah,
what
it's a
it
big
is.
deal.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
That's exactly what weddings are for.
But to bring someone like Shine and some of the other people.
No, but the difference is Shine. The only reason they brought Shine is because Shine made that as a condition of keeping quiet.
Yeah.
He had to
So
be-
that's the only reason he wasn't invited before.
Yeah.
The only reason he was invited was to keep him quiet.
And then Rosie and Tommy, like they were there just for Fed reasons, like to. So I
Yeah.
thought,
Yeah.
Same thing. Keep them close. And,
Yeah.
Are you guys sad to see Laura that she's gone?
No,
Go ahead, Emile.
So with Laura, when she was first introduced and we saw her in that club and we heard her voice, there was something innocent about her character that was very likable. And this show,
Or is it the Lions?
I don't know. Maybe it is. The show, the Lions connected together, they just ruined some of my favorite characters. Boo Boo Kitty was one of my favorite characters. Laura was one of my favorite characters. And it's like, you know that Tyra Banks clip where she's like, I was rooting for you. That's how I feel about these characters.
I'm rooting for you.
Like,
I remember
that's how I feel. And then all of a sudden it's like they're up here and then slowly it's like, and then damn. Like, that's how I felt about it. And I mean, say what you want about her family and all those different things, but it was like the character itself, her character, I just didn't like you knew what you were getting into. Like, it's not like he all of a sudden, you knew the family, you knew the history. Like, don't play, you were innocent, you lost your virginity recently and everything, but you're not dumb.
See, it was her family that I had the problem with. Not necessarily at the dinner, the engagement, well, the dinner that they had the night before, but it was when they were getting her ready. We hope he can keep you safe. What you talk? What? Like, what? Who? Like, we here now, Mom. I got the dress on.
The dress was gorgeous.
Who says
but
that
yeah.
when you
Yeah,
put
I
the
agree.
veil on? I hope he can keep you safe.
Well, you
and
know,
then
some people-
afterwards, she ran out like, I can't do this.
Because I think they were trying to basically be like, yo, we could go right now.
Yeah, some people be making comments at the wedding like
know,
Mama
I-
Joyce did with Candy.
No, that
that
annoyed me. And the whole run out.
yes.
And then he didn't chase after her.
That actually is what annoyed me.
Hakeem, chase after her, elope, and then, like you said, we're gonna make our own family.
Yeah.
Then make your own family.
Yeah, we're gonna break the cycle.
Because why you just stood there?
No, he totally just
Yeah.
stood there.
Don't go.
Yeah.
Turned around and sat back down.
Yeah.
I hate to
And
say
they all sat back down,
yeah,
including
yeah,
Jamal,
yeah.
and they're like, oh, well, whatever. We don't need the rest, any of you, to be here when you're getting married. Like, they all should have walked out. Like, to me, the fact that they actually sat down, you some punk asses. No, seriously, the minute the mom was like, yo, I'm not here for this, they should have walked out with her. Really? Like, we don't need all the rest of this. We all know it's a sham. We all know it's a fake. So what the hell we need guests for?
Yo, did you see V's face though?
Oh my
V
god.
was in there.
Yeah, no, really.
Yeah.
V was the only one who was real.
She was like, "What the hell is this
You know
shit?"
what I mean? She's probably like, I'm only here so I can Instagram and post this shit
I was like,
online.
this beautiful song for the wedding. I gotta sing it for this shit now.
She looked stunning though.
V did. Yeah,
Always.
V always.
Yeah.
Always. She's
She's
literally an
gorgeous.
angel.
Yeah.
She's literally like a songbird angel.
And I'm just glad they brought her back because it's like she was in the very first episode,
Yes.
season 1, and like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
she's such, and we've had her in the studio before, and she's such a beautiful soul, and it's
Yeah.
just like I love seeing her on the screen. So it was nice for them to give
Yes.
her more
and
shine.
great symmetry.
The final thing, I'm confused about the Tariq thing. As much as I enjoyed,
And wait, and I can't remember. Did I
No.
predict that on camera or off camera?
it was on camera.
on camera.
It was on
Oh,
camera.
okay.
So you
Sorry,
predict-
that was my little.
Oh yeah, no, great job. What I was confused about was with the
Oh, you predicted that?
was yeah, she did.
When Leah
When
was here,
I was confused with the whole flashback.
the flashback. Oh,
I was confused because was the little boy who watched Joe get shot? So was that actually Tariq?
no, that was Lucious.
So that was
Lucius.
because there was something that was said where he says that he's the guy who shot says something about like you and
Basically-
Dwight.
No, basically, it's the guy who he literally. Okay, so Tariq's stepdad, or the person he thought he was his dad.
Yeah.
Right. Now I'm
Shot Lucious's dad, his real
Right,
dad.
exactly.
But Lucious's
But
dad
right.
thought that dude was
was-
Tariq's daddy.
Yeah.
So he
And
was
the-
like, "You gonna leave your son without a father?" And then Tariq's stepdaddy was like, "Nah, fool, he your son.
Yeah.
So you leaving both of your sons without a father." And then
Boom.
he shot Lucious's daddy.
Got it. What did you guys think about the whole thing that Tariq and Lucius are half brothers? You predicted it, but
It was just another thing where it felt thrown in. You know what I mean? Like it felt thrown in, and like this. I don't know what it was. I mean, I know what it was. I don't want to keep saying I don't know what it was. I know what it was. It was just a lot thrown at us to the point where it's almost as if this episode could have literally focused on two things and kept it at that, but it was like all these ancillary stories that were kind of like diluting the quality of this episode, and then it was to the point where it's like, oh, I don't even care anymore. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's also too. It's like they were tired of the same kind of repetitive lack of evolution with characters. So how basically like Lucius just basically ignores him and is like, "Oh, it's Andre, go get my wife." Like, really, dude? The feds are coming for you. They just served her papers. You don't think like I'm gonna have some kind of conversation with the dude, but of course not, because that's exactly what Lucius does, and somehow Lucius always wins. So we have no evolution.
although I get your points in regards to some of the storylines. For me, I was very entertained with the entire episode.
No, I was
despite-
entertained.
We
Yeah.
were all
Yeah.
entertained.
And I retweeted. There was at one point the scene where Rhonda comes in and she chokes and slaps and punches all that stuff. I was very entertained because Andre's pants.
I was thinking, oh my god.
I need to know what his leg routine is.
I literally,
He been doing some squats or
No,
something.
totally. I was like, he has a new tailor. I totally noticed. No. I think
What
they've
y'all
been
looking at his
retweeting
ass or something?
Huh?
I'm confused.
leg.
Oh, yeah.
everything.
Like it was a perfect
Everything.
fit.
Yes, completely.
I need to get my pants tailored too.
Okay.
No, wait.
The funniest line for me before we go into co-piece of the week is when Mother Walker told Hakeem how she thought he was ugly.
I love her.
I love her.
I love her.
That was
She seems
hilarious to me.
authentic.
Yeah,
And
very
how she
authentic.
drops the little, like she
Yeah.
drops the hints about the father. Yeah, I love
But
her.
I don't
Being a
think.
cop, that's the only thing that makes sense to me, but I'll talk about that online.
But I'm starting to think that Mother Walker is not as
Also, no. This is differences. Just because you may have a mental illness doesn't mean you're not smart. She's obviously an extremely highly intelligent woman. That has nothing to do with the fact that she has a mental illness.
No,
the
what-
two are not connected.
No, what I'm saying is before when she did the whole cakes, like she seems a bit out there.
That's because she has a mental disorder.
But
So it's kind of like Alzheimer's, where arguably, depending upon your chemical imbalance at the time, if she's taking her meds and she's balanced, she is going to be lucid. And if chemically she is unbalanced, she is then going to act cake, ooh, I'm a little off. Does that make sense?
almost. But go ahead.
Okay.
Co-piece
I'll
of the
explain it
week. Yeah.
offline, but that's what a mental illness is.
Well, my co-piece is quick because, again, it's just going straight to the fans. Thank you guys for sticking with us this entire season. Season 2 of Fox's Empire. Hit us up and let us know who you think co-piece of the week should be, because right now, It's going to you, boo boo. So, hashtag cold piece of the week. The fans.
All right, any predictions for season 3?
AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I got nothing.
Okay.
I think it'll be. I mean, I think it'll be good. I think that as far as the big cliffhanger, I don't think either one of them is dead. To be quite honest,
I think Ron is dead.
I don't think either one of them is dead.
Oh, okay, my prediction is Ron is dead.
I feel like what was shot was probably changed at the last minute. I feel like there was a definitive ending, and I feel like they changed it at the very ending. I'm still gonna go with Andre.
Andre's dead?
I'm gonna say that that he falls off.
But they showed him screaming.
Well, you just heard a voice kind of drifting away, but
We'll see.
yeah. Anything else? All right, so
real.
yeah, we've had a great season 2
Oh,
here.
sorry. Thanks to everybody who's in the live chat right now. We really appreciate you watching and tuning in. Go ahead and click the thumbs up if you want to support us. I'll give a quick shout out to M. Gumon, 313, Yolanda, Bex G, Benson Olivia, Jackie Callie, Jimmy Pink, CC Freak. That's just Lady M05. Just want to give some shout outs to some people. We really appreciate you guys supporting.
Our live watchers.
And also, if you are listening to us on iTunes, go ahead and click that 5 stars, like, comment, subscribe, and tell a friend. And if you need an extra shot of conversation because this just wasn't enough and you want to hear the nitty gritty and hear us get real, go to iTunes or any podcast app and search for Happy Hour, a shot of conversation, where we break down the hottest and latest topics, what you would want to be talking about with your friends. And if you have nobody to talk about it with, you can listen to us talk about it and join in on the conversation. So Happy Hour, shot of conversation.
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And I'll be at Flappers Comedy Club on the 24th of May at 7:30 p.m. Hit me up online for ticket info.
Oh, and you can find me at Emile Ennis Jr. and at Emile Ennis Jr. 31 on Snapchat.
And you can follow our podcast, Happy Hour Shot of Conversation, at Happy Hour_TV. Me, at Sofia Stanley, Twitter and Facebook, and at the Sofia Stanley on Instagram.
And you can find me on all social media at Bamm Ericsen. And also just a reminder, I have a film that's out on Amazon. It's called All About the Money. And you can check it out. You can rent it or you can purchase it. You can get more information by going to our website at allaboutthemoneymovie.com, or when you go to Amazon, just type in All About the Money and you'll see the film. So check it out and let us know what you think. So guys, thank you so much again. It's been a pleasure here at AfterBuzz TV for Empire Season 2, and Season 3 is around the corner. So we'll see you guys. Thank you for watching.
Gone out with Panda.
Oh, I got bras in Atlanta.
Woo!
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.